What's going on, everyone? Yesterday I made a video diving into how close are the Lakers to being legit contenders, right? Ever since starting the season 0-5, they are now 7-6 since then, right? So they are over 500. They are starting to look a lot better. They're starting to gel. Their averages from three-point range are starting to fall in place, which is good and is going to be beneficial. Anthony Davis playing like an absolute monster. LeBron James, seems to be stepping up and playing within the flow of the offense, at least the last few games. He's also seems to have more lift. Him taking, like 2 weeks off or whatever it was pretty telling that it benefited him, right? He seems to kind of got his legs under him once again, which is really good. Yet we still haven't seen this team at full strength. We got Dennis Schroeder, Thomas Bryant back. They've been huge for us since they've came back and look really good. So I think that those are two huge pieces that could really help. Also, Dennis Schroeder, if he keeps playing the way he played against the Spurs, then that makes guys like Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn expendable. Even Russell Westbrook, if you need to make the big blockbuster trade, he's a guy that you can now afford to lose because you got Dennis Schroeder kind of giving you the same production, and then those other guys to kind of fill in the pieces that you need, right? The Lakers aren't far away, and that's something that I've reiterated. I think that they are, maybe two pieces at most, maybe three guys away from being legit contenders, especially with the Western Conference so wide open. And it looks like I'm not alone in this thought process, and neither are those that believe the same thing. It looks like the Lakers believe that they are only a piece or two away from being legit contenders also. We got this report. Lakers need a couple of pieces. There's belief in the locker room that LA is only a couple of players away from being a contender. Per ESPN, Dave McMenamin said this. According to ESPN's Dave McMenamin, there is belief shared by leaders in the locker room, a source said, that the team is only a couple of players away from turning this group into a legitimate contender. That such a report comes before the Lakers play the Indiana Pacers is notable. He also adds, McMenamin noted a potential trade that would have sent Miles Turner and Buddy Hield to the purple and gold in exchange for Russell Westbrook and draft assets fell apart when the Lakers backed away and did not want to give up their 27 and 29 first-round picks. So we know that right before media day, the Lakers were going to pull the deal and end up taking on Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Many people want to see that happen. It hasn't happened as of yet. Even Miles Turner has spoken out and been like, hey, if I was the Lakers, I would come take a hard look at me. Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, for the most part, have played really good this season. I do definitely think that there are pros and cons. I know a lot of people really want Buddy Hield and Miles Turner over anybody, and I wouldn't be against the deal. I just think that there's a lot of concerns with it. But nonetheless, it looks like maybe the Lakers are even trying to campaign. Obviously, the leaders would be LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? The leaders in the locker room, that they believe that they're only a couple pieces away. And now the guys stepping up, right? Think of Walker. Think of Austin Reeves. That is huge. Troy Brown has been very consistent, right? He's giving you, roughly 8 to 10 points per game, almost every game, right? It's crazy how, you want to talk about consistency. He's been a pretty good model of consistency, all in all, but he's not really what you want from your starting wing. He's be great off the bench as that, run and gun wing that you need to kind of help provide a scoring punch and just be a solid 3-and-D guy off the bench. That would be solid. But the Lakers, I don't believe, are that far away. I'm not sure if Buddy Hield and Miles Turner are the answer. I would rather them look at going and getting some wing depth and going to get guys that can, guard the perimeter and also, provide some shooting, provide some scoring, because that seems to be where our biggest problem is. The interior isn't really a major issue outside of rebounding. We aren't the best rebounding team, although we have been better as of late. And that's primarily through team rebounding, and Anthony Davis just being a monster has really helped too. But also if you get some sizable wings, what that does is that also helps with your rebounding, right? Because you got some size and a lot of the shots, because our issue is the exterior. It's the 3-point line and, just kind of that mid-range area. Those end up and tend to be long rebounds. And we don't have the sizable wings to go up and go get those rebounds, where we got guys like Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn and stuff like that are undersized trying to go, fight a 6'7 guy, 6'8 guy for a rebound. You're going to lose those more times than not. So I think if the Lakers could just go get a couple solid wing players that could, one, stretch the floor, which is what a lot of people want to see Miles Turner and Buddy Hield do. Not only do you get that, but you'd also get the defense around the perimeter, which I think would really help as well. And rather than having Miles Turner just be a perimeter player on offense and then a shot blocking big on defense, it's like you're kind of neutralizing your usage of two bigs, right? I mean, look at like Minnesota, for example. It is a disaster with the two bigs because of that, right? And Anthony Davis has not been able to shoot the ball very well this season. Maybe he picks it up, maybe he gets better, but that's not a good sign. Miles Turner has had good games, but would you rather have Miles Turner jacking up threes and hope that he can continue to stay hot and kind of like, just be a shot blocking big down low? Or would you rather have a 3-and-D guy that can consistently do that has done that over the course of his career, but also guard the perimeter? I don't know. I would just rather I just think there's more pressing needs than a big center. And Buddy Hield's defense is, basically non-existent, although I do think he could help stretch the floor. I wouldn't be upset if they went and got Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Like, if it happened right now, like, I would be happy. I'd be celebrating. I'd be excited with other people. I just want people to look at the entire picture rather than just, the positives. Because I feel like a lot of people, they just look at like, oh, but think about this. And it's like, yes, I understand that. And I agree. But you got to look at the whole picture and the whole package. Miles Turner's injury history. Miles Turner having trouble working with other bigs in the past. He's had issues with that. Also, these guys' production is not going to be the same because they're not going to have the same roles that they have with Indiana. That's something else that I think is important. And I don't think the Lakers are that far off from being legitimized contenders. The West is so wide open. There is not a single team, even right now, as the Lakers are currently constructed, there is not a single team in the West that I look at and go, man, there is absolutely no way the Lakers can beat that team in a 7-game series. And I don't think anyone would be shocked. Like, if the Lakers won the championship as currently constructed, I don't think anyone would be blown away because you have Anthony Davis and LeBron James, right? You still have two of the best players in the league. They're top 5, top 10 at the worst, right? And they're both on the same team. And they're a great complement. They've won a championship together already. They're both playing at a high level still, which is really good. So it's not unfathomable to think like the Lakers can win a championship and turn the season around. And we haven't even seen these guys healthy yet. And they've kind of done a better job. They have played lesser competition, but still, they're beating those teams the way that they should. Look at last year. Like, so many people like to say earlier in the season, we're as bad as last year. We're as bad as last year. And I kept saying, there is a big difference between last year and this year. Almost every one of the games this year were winnable outside of like 2 or 3 games. But beyond that, we were losing to the bad teams last year. We had one of the easiest schedules in the league last year, and we were 5-5 through 10 games. That was the issue, right? We weren't beating the Spurs like we were supposed to. We were getting smacked 3 out of the 3 times that we played the Spurs, right? This time we're beating all the bad teams. We've beaten some notable teams, right? We beat Denver, beat the Pelicans. Those are teams we're probably going to have to see in the playoffs, teams like that. And I think we could have beaten the Suns, and we didn't even have LeBron James. Not just that, but the Lakers just seem to have the Suns number. I feel like, Anthony Davis, they have no answer for Anthony Davis. Every time Anthony Davis plays the Suns, he eats them alive. And they have no answer for LeBron James. So I think that's just a bad matchup for the Suns. And I think in a 7-game series, I do think the Lakers could beat them. Last time they were in the playoffs together, the Lakers were probably going to win that series and probably would have repeated. Even Kyle Kuzma recently came out and said, like, hey, if it wasn't for injuries, we would have won back-to-back. And I actually think they would have too. Because they were up 2-1 against the Suns. Looked like they were going up 3-1 because the Suns had no answer. LeBron James is, making Jay Crowder his son, all of that stuff. Things are looking great. They have no answer. They're getting smacked by the Lakers, and then Anthony Davis goes down. And as soon as Anthony Davis went down, that sucked all the air out of the building, and they end up losing. I think if Anthony Davis never got hurt, I think they beat the Suns. I think they make it to the NBA championship, and I think that they match up so much better to the Milwaukee Bucks over the Phoenix Suns. And I think that they probably would have won that. I think at worst, it would have been an awesome series that we would have saw Giannis versus LeBron, and I think it would have been an entertaining final series, right? But nonetheless, regardless, it didn't happen. I still believe the Lakers could beat the Suns if they were to match up again in the playoffs. But regardless, I definitely think the Lakers need to make a move, need to do a deal. And the Lakers are waiting till December 15th, which does make sense know a lot of people want a deal now, but it does make sense to wait till the 15th because guys like, Damian Jones become available, right? You're not using them, especially if you do go get, like, say, a Miles Turner. Now you really don't need Damian Jones. So maybe you could use Damian Jones as like an add-on in a trade, something like that. Move off of Damian Jones, go get some other pieces, things like that. So it does make sense, not just that other players on other teams become available, like Bojan Bogdanovic, guys like that. So maybe the Lakers could work out multiple deals. At the end of the day, look, the Pacers deal isn't going anywhere very likely. Although you could make an argument, is the deal even still on the table? That's something, I mean, we really haven't heard much about that since then. But personally, I do think it is, just because I think that, one, they want to get something for Miles Turner. Two, Miles Turner's kind of been public about it. They know he's leaving. And three, they know they're not winning a championship this year. And, and it might be a little too late to tank, but at least get a good draft pick now, get something for Miles Turner. If you can move off of Buddy Hield's contract, you move off of Buddy Hield's contract. I could see the Pacers still doing the deal if the Lakers were to cave on it. So that'll be interesting. We'll see how that plays out. But all in all, I definitely think the Lakers, they need to make a move. They need to do something. I don't even think they necessarily need to do the big blockbuster trade with Russell Westbrook. I've even said, like, go do a smaller deal. Take Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn, go do a smaller deal, get a player or two, and see where you're at. Are you that much better? And then let's say you do it on like December 20th, right? That means you still have like 2 months to evaluate this team and see, okay, do we need to do the Russell Westbrook trade? Do we need to unload him and go get another 2 or 3 pieces, right? And then if you need to, you can. So I think that that's what the Lakers should do personally, is I just think the Lakers should look at doing a smaller deal, go get a piece or two, like a quality piece or two, go do that. And that way you get some actual production rather than Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn. Even if it's just like a Terry Rozier or something like that, right? Go get a Terry Rozier, a guy that can, be a scorer, play on the ball, play off the ball, do a lot for you, kind of take some of that scoring load off of LeBron and AD and Russ and, Walker and Reeves and stuff like that. You just get another consistent scorer and see where you're at. Maybe he's enough to kind of put you in the conversation and you're like, okay, like, no, we're like a piece away. Is there somebody else we could pick up, and maybe get on the cheap or something like that, and by the trade deadline, there's going to be a fire sale from a lot of teams because teams are going to be tanking for the bottom for Victor Wembanyama. So I think the Lakers are in a good position. They have to keep above water, right? They have to win games. December is going to be grueling for them. But if they can maintain and actually win in December, at least weather the storm, then I do think a trade or two will be hugely beneficial. Guys got to stay healthy. Guys got to stay dominant. Guys got to stay playing the way that they're playing. And I think we'll be good. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think, yes, the Lakers are a move or two away? Do you think they should go do Buddy Hield, Miles Turner? Or do you think they should do another deal? However you feel, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below.